oh my God, I can't sleep. Now I'm going to wake up in a bad mood, and then I'm going to have a bad day at work, and my kids are all going to be misbehaving, or this, that, and the other. And then all of a sudden you are stuck not sleeping because you misinterpreted something normal, which is part of sleeping, having that period of being awake, as an abnormal thing, and now it has become an abnormal thing. So just last week, I was talking to a sleep doctor who said that waking up every day at 3 a.m. is not necessarily a sign of a problem. And so I am going to do a deep dive into that topic. Hi, if you don't know me, my name is Dr. Odoy. I am a board certified internal medicine physician, founder and owner of Oasis Women's Functional Medicine, where I help high achieving women with hormonal balancing in perimenopause and menopause. So today I'm going to be diving into the topic of sleep, which is every woman's biggest concern during perimenopause. So the question is waking up every day at 3 a.m. a sign of poor sleep, or if that there is something wrong? So in order to understand that, we need to go through what we consider normal sleep structure or normal sleep architecture. Now, when we look at sleep in general, we start with what we call the non-REM sleep, and then we go into REM sleep. And that's basically the cycle of sleep, which repeats itself throughout the night. And that typical cycle, which begins with light sleep, and then we go into the deep, slow waves of sleep, and then we go into REM sleep. And this is REM sleep is where we have a lot of dreams. That's where we have very active dream life during sleep. And once that cycle completes, there is a short period where we are awake, and then we go back into the cycle of the light sleep, then deep sleep, and then REM sleep. And that cycle repeats itself throughout the night. So yes, you will be awake during the night when you are sleeping. And so waking up at 3 a.m. could be a coincidence, or it could be a time where you've completed that cycle of sleep and you are back into light sleep. So what I want you to understand is that when you wake up during the night, it's really a normal part of sleep. I don't want you to become anxious that this is a problem, because the moment your mind begins to think that this is a problem, that you've woken up in the middle of the night, that unfortunately makes it worse, right? It wasn't a problem. It's normal part of sleep. Now your brain is telling you it's a problem. Now it's become a problem, because now your brain starts to give you other suggestions where you start thinking, oh my God, I can't sleep. Now I'm going to wake up in a bad mood, and then I'm going to have a bad day at work, and my kids are all going to be misbehaving, or this, that, and the other. And then all of a sudden you are stuck not sleeping because you misinterpreted something normal, which is part of sleeping, having that period of being awake, as an abnormal thing, and now it has become an abnormal thing, right? So what are some of the things you can do if you feel like this awakening period is lasting longer? Is I already went through that. Please try not to be anxious about it. I know telling you not to be anxious may actually make you more anxious, but it really does not help you to go back to sleep when you start being anxious about it. The second thing you can do is to do something really boring during that awakening period, as part of the sleep cycle. Doing something that you find very boring. So if you are an enthusiast of classical music can be stimulating for you because you love classical music. But if you are not and you find that boring, maybe engaging in something, do something that is super boring for you is what needs to happen so that now you can go back to sleep and resume that cycle of sleep. So, remember the main points. Sleeping is a cycle. It's kind of like doing a cycle of washing in the washing machine. There's the spin. There is the part where the machine gets quiet and then it spins again. Same thing is happening in your brain when you are sleeping. You start with the light sleep, which we spend a long time there. And then you go into deep sleep and then REM, and then you wake up and then you go back and start the cycle. So if you wake up, please tell yourself this is normal, and then your brain will go back to sleep again. In the next video, I'm going to go through some of the tips that you can really start doing at home, which will help you sleep better and keep you asleep longer. Stay tuned. Forward this video to another woman you know who is struggling with sleep. I hope you found this helpful. Leave any comments or questions below, and my team or I will get back to you with some answers. Thank you, and I'll see you next week.